Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings here, but today is a little bit different. So a couple of weeks ago I hit 1,000 subscribers and I talked a little bit about my journey, the 9 months that I've been here on YouTube. And in the giveaway form I actually left a space where you could ask some questions. And I wasn't sure how many questions I was going to get, if any, but I did get a pretty good list of questions, so I thought I would just film a little video to answer some of the questions that you guys had about my personal life and YouTube life and how it's been being an unboxing channel. So hopefully we can get through it pretty quickly. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, definitely sign up for the current giveaway that I've got going on. JJ over at Oceanista has been kind enough to let me give away one of her amazing summer boxes. So check out that unboxing, but also definitely enter, and it works the same way as the last one where you just fill out a Google form and it'll be super easy. All right, so let's get into it. I did also have on that form a place where you could tell me what some of the favorite boxes are that I open here on the channel, just to kind of give me an idea of what your favorites are, but also make sure that I keep those boxes on the channel. And I will tell you that the top 5, it was a really good variety of boxes. So the top 5 boxes that I open on this channel were Once Upon a Book Club, which is one of the book subscriptions I do, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boxes, which is one of the Disney boxes that I do, TheraBox, which is one of the wellness boxes that I do, and then we had a tie for 2 lifestyle subscriptions, which were Oceanista, which is a beach theme subscription box, which I love beach theme subscription boxes. I kind of specialize in those, and Journey Box, which is another fantastic lifestyle subscription that I'm really looking forward to opening again here on the channel. So thanks for all of you who did fill out that form, and thanks again for all of your questions. There were some repeat questions, so I am going to try to get through all of them. If for some reason I don't answer your question, it's probably because I've answered it in another video or over on Instagram, or maybe it's just a question that I didn't feel like answering, but hopefully we'll get to everything. So first question was, what do you do for a living? So some of you know that I am currently an out-of-work yoga instructor because the studio that I work at shut down for COVID. They are starting to reopen, but I have chosen not to go back quite yet until all of the protocols are in place and it's a little more standardized. I do love teaching yoga. I've been teaching yoga for almost 10 years, but my schooling, I'm actually an English major, and so I use those skills that I acquired through many years of school to be a copy editor. So I do a lot of editing for academic papers, a lot of graduate school admissions essays, and then I also work for a software company as their copy editor, so I get to do some of the more dry technical marketing stuff too. So, and then it also says, do you have or want any pets? So I don't have any pets, and that's mostly because my husband and I live in a condo that's upstairs. We don't really have a yard, so I think it's really unfair for a dog. I would like a cat, he would not like a cat, but I grew up with animals. At any given time, our household had a dozen animals, from a pet mouse to a pet turtle to bunnies to 3 dogs and 3 cats. And so I grew up with animals, and I just know how much work they are and how much attention they need, and that is why I don't have any right now. Let's see, my favorite color. Depends on what it is. My favorite color is generally black when it comes to clothing, but I also love red and purple. Let's see, where would you like to go on your next trip? Well, I, as many of you know, love to travel, and this has been really hard last few months to not get to travel as much and to have to cancel a lot of trips. So the next place that I would like to go, we had a trip planned for Egypt. It's been on my bucket list for a long time. We were supposed to go in May, so as soon as we are able, it's probably not going to be for a year or more. That is the next international trip that I would like to take if it is safe and I am able to. Favorite places to go. So I have been blessed enough to get to travel to over 70 countries. Some of my favorites have been New Zealand, Ireland was great. I actually loved India as well. A lot of the times it's places that just have beautiful landscapes and scenery, even though I also, despite growing up in Hawaii, despite growing up in a very kind of rural setting, I love cities. I love the energy of it. So New York City will always be a favorite, and I was super lucky to get to live there for a couple of years. But that is one of my favorite places to get to visit as well. When is your next planned trip to Disney. I don't have any plans. We are annual pass holders, but like at the lowest tier, so we're usually blocked out for all of summer anyway. We always try to go as a family around Christmas time, but it's really just going to depend on what the system is at that point, if we're even able to get reservations. I currently have an annual pass, but they're not letting anyone buy new annual passes, so like my husband and my parents wouldn't be able to go, so obviously I wouldn't be going without them for that that holiday trip that we always take. But I'm hoping that we are able to take our holiday trip to Disney. We just do Disneyland. One day I'll get to Disney World, but so far I'm a Disneyland girl. And then, are you excited to use some of the things you received from your Disney boxes at the parks? Absolutely. Although I feel like I've gotten some really like nice, even limited edition like lounge fly bags, which I feel like I wouldn't want to use at the parks just because I wouldn't want to get them all banged up. Let's see, goals for the rest of 2020. How do you keep hope? So my goals for the rest of 2020 are to just work with this new life-work balance and schedule. One of the reasons I decided not to go back to teaching yoga quite yet is because I've actually really been enjoying this new rhythm of life and growing this channel, which is actually more work than I thought it would be, or maybe you might think it is, but it does take up quite a bit of time, and I'm enjoying the process and learning along the way. So I just want to take advantage of this time that I have in my life where some other things have been put on pause to continue to grow this channel and this community that we've got going here. And to be okay with that, to be okay with things not necessarily going as you planned, right? That's definitely a sign of grace. Favorite memory from Hawaii, and then also, you are from Hawaii. Do you still have family there? Do you visit them often? So I'm an only child. I'm an adopted only child. My parents are both from the West Coast, and so when I moved here to the West Coast, they followed me. So I do not have any family in Hawaii right now, which is a bummer because it would be great to be able to visit family. I do have a lot of close friends there still, but we usually stay in a hotel just for convenience and to not like impose on their families when we're there. But my favorite memories from Hawaii are just growing up. My dad was boat captain, so I often got to go on the boats with him as either a crew member or a hula dancer or just hanging out, and those are my favorite memories, is being on the ocean with my dad. Let's see, so boxes. So that was the personal side. Now we're into like the boxes. How many different boxes do you purchase each month? And I am pretty organized. I like to think of myself as being pretty organized. So I have this like Excel spreadsheet that, you know, has lists of all of the boxes I'm watching, all of the boxes that I'm subscribed to, all of the dates of when I'm receiving boxes, when I'm posting boxes. But at any given time, and it really varies just because some of them are monthly, bi-monthly, or seasonal, and then some of them I keep for longer than others. But at any given time right now, I have between 40 and 50 active subscriptions. But, you know, even if I have 50 active subscriptions, I still might be getting less than 30 boxes that month because a bunch of them might be bi-monthly or seasonal. But I do try to have enough boxes so that I can post every day. So that's why I have to be a little bit higher than 30, because you're never going to get enough boxes to actually just post every single day just because of the shipping schedules. How much do you spend on boxes? So you guys know that my general budget, I do try to keep things between $30 and $40 per box per month. But my budget has changed just because I've started posting more. But I will say that I spend probably close to $800 to $1,000 per month. So full disclosure, I'm not trying to like brag. I'm not trying to sound spoiled. I'm definitely putting a lot of my current income towards boxes that I would normally be putting towards other things like travel or saving up for other things. It's not something that is sustainable or that I am proud of, and it is one of the reasons why now that I am monetized, that's going to be offset a little bit more, which is great, as well as hopefully now that my channel is a little bit bigger, I can actually ask for some discounts and PR boxes. Let's see. Do you use a website or app to keep all of your subs organized? I do not, and I usually like to subscribe directly versus using any third-party companies like CreateJoy, for example. I like to subscribe directly because I feel like the boxes make more money that way, which is really important, especially with the smaller subscription companies. And like I said, I just use a Excel spreadsheet with several tabs. It's kind of getting a little bit unruly, but it works for me. And then I also have like a little like pocket calendar that I use for my posting schedule, just because I do sometimes like to have things on paper. See, what box has been your biggest surprise? I honestly don't know. I think Glamorous might have been my biggest surprise. Like, I liked the idea of it, but like the first box that I got, it was just phenomenal. And then also, obviously, I just posted it a couple of days ago, Main Street Mail. Like, it was just a surprise to me that I got a limited edition backpack that was like well over the value of what I paid for the box. So that's probably also the answer to the next question, which was, what's your favorite item? And that's just because that was like a grail item for me. Like, I just didn't think I was going to get it unless I ponied up like $250 on eBay, which I was not prepared to do. So right now, that is my favorite item that I have received. And then I got tons of questions about what is your favorite box, and I am just not going to answer that because there are so many boxes and they all have their pros and cons, and they all have a different like audience, they all have a different aesthetic, and there's really, I can't choose that. I could maybe give you like my top 10 like boxes that I wouldn't give up even if I didn't have unboxing channel. I mean, honestly, if I didn't have an unboxing channel, I would probably have like 2 or 3 subscriptions, like Oceanista, Cosbox, Box of Style, like kind of the bigger ones, honestly, would probably stay in my subscription pocket, just because I feel like the value there is really, really good. But I'm never gonna like tell you what like my favorite one is, because it can change from season to month to whatever. Also, a good question, but another no, is would you ever consider doing a battle of the boxes for similar boxes such as Oceanista versus Beachly or Cosbox versus Women's Collective? And I will say that you did definitely do 2 good example pairings there. And the answer to that again is no, because they are still different. Especially with those 2 examples, like Beachly is a funded company, Oceanista is not. Cosbox is a funded company, Women's Collective is brand new, and they are not. So that's not really a fair comparison, even though the aesthetic and like maybe the theming can sometimes seem similar. And I just don't think that's fair. Like these reviews, these unboxings that I do, which some of you apparently think that I'm like too honest and too harsh on the boxes. I mean, they are for your comparison, right? So you can just watch the unboxing of Beachly and the unboxing of Oceanista in the same season and see which one I liked better that season, right? And even then, I probably couldn't pick like a winner, just because they're different and they have different budgets. All right, so which one do you believe has the best value price-wise? In terms of just like the difference, like the best value is going to be, again, those bigger ones like Box of Style. You're going to sometimes get like a $500 value. Do I think the actual items in that box are necessarily worth that? No, but there are lots of brand and designer names. Same with Beachly, same with Cosbox. But like, I think in terms of like smaller boxes that are doing like a really good job where you're getting like 3 times your value, honestly, and I am a little bit biased, but like, at the top of my mind, like Oceanista does a fantastic job for a smaller subscription box company. They're not $100, and they're still delivering boxes that are like in the $200 and $300 range. Let's see. What do you do with all the empty boxes? Well, some of them I keep for storage because I have like 2 stacks right next to me that are about desk height, and I have them kind of categorized in different categorized into, so like there's a box that has like bath and beauty products, there's a box that has stationery products, there's a box that has like jewelry, and I kind of keep those all on hand to either give to people or put together little giveaway collections, because I just honestly can't use everything. And then all of the other boxes, and there are tons of boxes, I will just break down and recycle. And I do try to like keep the like nicer ones that I think would be harder to recycle, so like the ones that have magnetic closures, etc. I hold on to those because they make great storage. Let's see. Where do you store all of your goodies? I am lucky enough that I do have a haul closet where I can kind of put all of the Bath and Body products that I have. I, again, kind of have a surplus right now, so I'm being a little bit more sparing. As many of you know, I have a whole tea cupboard because I get so much tea. I have a candle drawer, so everything has its place that I hold on to for sure. Let's see. What sub box do you wish you could receive a review, but it's too expensive? Honestly, there's any box, especially if they had spoilers and I really liked those spoilers, I would try any luxury box anytime. Like I think right now the most expensive boxes that I get are We Please. In theory, I get We Please, which is $150 every 2 months, but I haven't gotten a box since December. The other one is Saltwater and Sand, which is a luxury beach themed subscription, and that one's $129 plus shipping, so that one's pretty expensive. I would probably try Brio Box, which is kind of like a tech heavy box, but like this particular season that's coming up, the items in it were not necessarily ones that I would use, but that is definitely on my radar. What would you put in a box that you curated? I've definitely thought about this. As some of you know, I've always been looking for the perfect travel box. I really love the concept of Wanderlust by Bikini. That idea of like a luxury vacation. So you get items that are useful, but not like touristy items, not like tchotchke souvenirs, but definitely things that reflect the culture, but also sort of that like resort life, boutique living kind of version of it. Like if you saved up and it was like some place that you were going on your honeymoon, not necessarily just a beach destination, but I do like the destinations that they've picked. And that is probably something that I would like to try my hand at, because it would combine my love of travel, my love of some luxury and boutique styling, and also my love of subscription boxes. What kind of camera do you use? I use a point and shoot camera. I actually got it because it has such a good zoom, which I don't really use on this. It is a Canon SX740. And then knowing that you film in one take, do you practice before end up re-recording yourself a second or a third time? Yes, I absolutely do. So I always do my little spiel in the beginning, and I mess up all the time. If I mess up in the first like minute or two, I'll start over. Some days I just flub a ton and I will have to start the same video over like 5 times. Sometimes I will just get it on the first shot and we're good to go. Or sometimes I'll get like, you know, midway through the video and I'm like, I should probably start over, but I can't really start over. Or like the garbage truck will come down, or you can hear there's like a chainsaw going right now in the background, but I'm not gonna start over, and because I can't guarantee that it's gonna be any better the next time. So that was like on cue, they decided to get louder. Let's see, how do you decide what to put in your description box or how to title your video? So I try not to make my titles and my thumbnails super clickbaity. Like I'm not the one that's gonna be like, best box ever, except I did do that with my last Disney box. But I'm not gonna be like, you know, wait until you see what I got, or this subscription is going downhill. Like I just feel like I'm just gonna put the title of the box, the date, the month that it came out in, and hopefully you guys watch and see what it had for me, just because I don't like respond well to that kind of marketing and that kind of clickbaity styling. So I decided I'm just gonna keep mine pretty plain and simple too. Let's see what else. Do you have any photography training? No, but I do like to take pictures. Do the box companies ever comment or offer you items because of your pictures? So again, this is referring to the pictures that I take over and post on Instagram. Yes, I have had a couple of companies comment on my pictures and repost my pictures, which is always really flattering. I do have like maybe 1 or 2 companies that have sent me boxes in exchange for some photos, but like I think that's like a total of 3. I can definitely count them on my hand, the number of times that has happened. Let's see, how have you been reaching out to other companies? I only recently started reaching out to companies, and I've gotten a lot of rejections or just outright no response, but usually I will send them a DM on Instagram, or I will send them an email. How did you get your new channel out there? I didn't really like tell my friends about it or post it. I did post a little bit on my personal Instagram for a little while, but I didn't want to like inundate my friends and family with that. So I just started another channel or another Instagram account, and I just kind of let it happen organically. If you have a complaint for boxes, do they treat you better, resolve your issue quickly because of your channel? Nope, I'm not that big. I'm not that fancy. They don't seem to care. But most of the time I get pretty good customer service, and that's just indicative of the company, not any of my status. Now that your channel has ads, does skipping the ads affect any benefit to you? Yes. So obviously I don't understand the algorithm completely, but if you guys watch the entire video, that's better for me. The more watch hours, the better. If you watch through the ads, that's better for me. I totally understand skipping through ads. I do it too. But if you were like just cleaning your house and you just had me on in the background, the best thing you can do for my channel is just let all the ads play and let it play from start to finish. But if you don't do that, I totally understand. And what are my goals? My goals are to just keep growing this channel and seeing how it goes. And the last question I did get was, do you do yoga for beginners? I don't do yoga videos. I don't have that in my plans for this year because there are so many great yoga instructors that are out there doing the Zoom yoga classes and videos, and they need your support. But if you ever want to talk yoga, I can talk yoga. Other than that, you guys, thanks so much for sitting through all of this. Thanks so much for all of your great questions. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you soon in my next unboxing.